Will record.
Hello, everybody. It's really uh, very exciting now that you have come to ninth standard. You have completed eighth standard and you have come to ninth standard. And mathematics being a very exciting subject, you will see how it develops from eighth to ninth. Okay, we will today talk about number systems. That's the first chapter. You have already had a glimpse of this in eighth standard. We are expanding it and we are trying to know more about this in this ninth standard. Number systems. First, we are going to learn about what is a number line. Then we talk about natural numbers. Then whole numbers. Then we move on to integers, positive and negative integers. Then we move to rational numbers and irrational numbers. This is to start with. So what's a number line? Number line consists of all these numbers and you have 0 at the center. You have positive numbers on the right going up to infinity and negative numbers on the left going up to negative infinity, minus infinity. Now, what is this natural number? Suppose you are going to a stationery shop and you ask for, say you want to buy some pens or notebooks. Will you ask for half a pen or half a notebook? Definitely not. You have to say, I want 2 notebooks, 5 pens. You can't even ask 0, isn't it? You don't say, I want 0 notebooks. You have to say anything more than 1 or equal to 1. So, those numbers which you can count are natural numbers, starting with 1, 2, 3, up to infinity, and they are all only on the positive side. So negative side you don't have natural numbers. Then we come to whole numbers. Whole numbers are 0 included. 0 plus natural numbers are whole numbers. So you have 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. That gives you all the whole number and denoted by W. Whole numbers are denoted by W. Natural numbers denoted by N. Then we come to what are integers. Integers are, if you take all the whole numbers on the positive side, 1, 2, 3, okay, and also on the negative side, -1, -2, -3, up to infinity on the positive side, and up to infinity, minus infinity on the negative side. They are all integers. So it is a set of numbers starting from minus infinity down to 0 and from 0 to plus infinity. They are all integers. You can name all what is on the right hand side of 0 as positive integers, and those which are on the left hand side of 0 are negative integers. Is this clear? If you have any questions, you may please ask, and I would be pleased to explain to you. Now, then we come to what are rational numbers. Rational numbers are numbers which can be expressed in the form P by Q, where P and Q are integers, and Q is not equal to 0. Q should not be equal to 0, because any number which is divided by 0 is undefined. So Q should not be. Please note that 25 by 0 is not 0. Many people have a wrong notion that 25 by 0 is 0. It is not 0. It is undefined. Okay. Now, P by Q should be integers. Now, the example of this rational numbers are, you can put 1 by 5, 25 by 50, or 75 by say 80, or anything. It can be any number. It can be on the positive side, it can be on the negative side. Okay? It can be any of these numbers. They are all rational numbers. So only condition is Q should not be equal to 0, and they can be, and both these numerator and denominator should be integer, and you have examples as these numbers. Okay. Then we come to irrational numbers. What are irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are numbers which cannot be expressed in the form P by Q. For example, if I take root 2, root 2 is an irrational number. You cannot express root 2 in the form P by Q. So we will go into the details of where they fall on the number line. All these numbers. Suppose you have a number line. How do I fix them? Where does it position itself on the number line? Is another topic we will see in the next class. So before we go on to the next topic, I would like to tell a little more about this rational numbers, in the sense that they do not have a unique representation on the number. In the sense, now suppose I say Q not equal to 0, P by Q, Q not equal to 0, I take half. Half is also 2 by 4. This is also equal to 25 by 50. So these are all numbers, different rational numbers, but the value of it is only half. Okay, so this can be anything. 1 by 2 can be, these are all equivalent ratios. Equivalent ratios. Okay, so they do not represent a unique number on the number line. Now, how do we represent these numbers on the number line? Now, if you take natural numbers, it is easy. We can easily represent them. starting with 0. If you want to represent 25, you have to count 1, 2, 3 that way. You have to count 25, represent 20. It's easy. Whole numbers also easy. Whole numbers also. This is starting with 0, so it is same. And integers. Integers, if it is negative values, you have to put it on the negative side. This is suppose minus 25, you have to put it here. This is minus 25, plus 25 means you put it here. So integers also we can represent easily on the number line. So the difficulty comes only when we are representing rational numbers. So rational numbers, suppose we have to represent 3 by 4. How do we represent 3 by 4? We know it's a fraction and it is 0.75, it is less than 1. So we can identify. Okay, but the best way to do is this: you take this 4, denominator 4, between 0 and 1. You divide the space into 4 equal parts. 1, 2, 3. So this is 1 by 4. This is 2 by 4. This is 3 by 4. So 2 by 4 is nothing but half. So we can easily represent 3 by 4. Suppose you want to represent 11 by 4. So these you have to continue. This is 4 by 4 will become 1. 5 by 4 will become this way. 6 by 4. 7 by 4. Like that up to 11 by 4. So we can represent 11 by 4 on the number line by adopting this method. So whatever is in the denominator, you take that number and divide it, the first division into those parts, and then start counting the numbers that you require from the numerator. Now, suppose you want to between 3 by 4 and 5 by 6. You want to represent some numbers between these two numbers. Then what you do is you have to take the mean of these two. So you take 3 by 4 plus 5 by 6. You take LCM 12. 3 times 3 into 3 is 9 plus 2 times 6 2s are 2 into 5 10. It is 19 by 12. Okay, you add these two, then divide by 2. So 19 by 12. You divide this by 2, which will be equal to 19 by 12 into 2. That will be 19 by 24. This is in between 3 by 4 and 5 by 6. That way, if you want a number between these two, again you can take a mean of this and identify a number. So this goes on, and the number of rational numbers on the number line, you will see it is going to infinity. You have infinite numbers, not only across, not only in the horizontal side, even in between the fractions of a number line. In between the fraction numbers also, you have infinite number of numbers between the fractions. So with this we will stop. Now we will talk about irrational numbers. As I told you, numbers which cannot be expressed in the form p by q and q not equal to 0 are irrational. Now examples are root 2, root 5, root 7, root 11. It can be anything. Okay. Now, how do we represent this root 5, root 3, all these? How do we represent on the number line? So, what you do is, this is your number line. This is 0. You measure 1 unit. This is 1 unit. It can be 1 centimeter or 1 meter, whatever, 1 unit. And then you drop perpendicular again 1 unit. You name it. This is O, this is A, this is P, suppose. Now, we know, suppose we are joining this. What is OP? How do you find OP? This is a triangle OAP is a right angle. Right angle triangle and right angle at A. Right angle at A. Now we know Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. By Pythagoras theorem. So by Pythagoras theorem, in this triangle, OP is your hypotenuse, and you have PA and OA are adjacent sides. So you have OP squared is equal to OA squared plus PA squared. So we know that OA we have taken it as 1 unit, 1 square, plus PA is also 1 square. So it is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. And OP will take root of 2, value root. So OP distance is root 2. Now our objective was to represent root 2 on the number line. Our objective was to represent root 2 on the number line. This can be done by taking your compass, positioning at O, take this distance OP, and you draw an arc. If you draw an arc, it cuts the number line at some point, say C. So your OC will be distance at root 2 from your 0 line. So this distance OC is root 2. Have you understood? Is it clear how to represent irrational numbers on the number line? Now we will take another example. Suppose you want to represent root 3. You want to represent root 3. So we will develop on this. Same diagram. You take 1 unit OA, PA is 1 unit. Then you draw perpendicular to OP. Another line. You call this as B. And this is also 1 unit. You draw another line PB perpendicular to OP. Again 1 unit. Now you join OB. Now we know OP is root 2. We have already seen OP distance is root 2. And we have assumed now PB distance is 1 unit again. And this triangle is a right angle triangle OPB. We again apply Pythagoras theorem. And you have OB square is equal to OP square plus PB square. So which is OP, we know it is root 2 whole square plus PB is 1 square. So this will become, how much will be? This will be 2. This will become 1. Square root of square is again same number 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So OB square distance is 3 or OB will become root 3. So again what you do is, you have to represent, this will become root 3. You take this compass, place it on O, take this distance OB and you draw an arc which cuts the number line at a point say D. Now OD is your distance root 3. Is it clear? That way we can develop and represent the irrational numbers on the number line. We will go on.
Hospital.
Hospital.
Perfect target, sir. Perfect target. Over in the problem.
Further it. Maybe I'll take that too.
Which one, sir? No problem. One and round model bonus typical.
Okay. We will, okay.
resume பண்ணுமா? வருமா வருமா போறீங்களா? வருமா?
Okay. They're coming. Happy to get all